Lordy, lordy, lordy. I think I do have the monetization on this. I am going to probably have to go take it off because you guys don't know what we're going to be talking about today. Sorry, I didn't do my countdown. Hello, Pixie Stardust. Welcome, welcome. Poppy, I adore you. Um, Poppy, can you please, ma'am, if you have a minute, go over and put on subscriber only mode, um, maybe 5 minutes or more. Like I said, we don't know what we're going to be talking about. Hey, Stephen, good to see you. Let me go in quick and unmonetize this. Um, Now, I know you guys are going to see my banner. Um, Please consider helping me pay my StreamYard this month. I'm running short. If I do not pay it, y'all may have to wait a good week to 2 weeks for me to pick it back up. I never ask for anything, and I really feel really it's hard. It's hard for me. It is hard for me to even ask. Um, y'all know I don't like to do that. That is me. That's just the way I am. And I did take the monetization off of this because, like I said, thank you, Poppy. Thank you, darling. Hey, Debbie. You know, hey, I'm a human being. I struggle sometimes for sure. So, yes, I do have my banner with my Cash App and Venmo going. I know a lot of people have asked me about PayPal. I personally don't have PayPal. Um, I'm, sorry about that. Um, we can, I can try to get one. I know that my Cash App and stuff, Todd set all that stuff up for me. Um, yes, I was kind of spoiled because he did do a lot of stuff for me, and I miss him dearly. I will. But this isn't about that. Hey, Kathy, good to see you. Thank you, Poppy. I will pin that over here. I can't do it on my StreamYard, but thank you so much. So we are going to be talking about a few different things today. Absolutely. Also, if you guys want to bring something to my attention, um, I will check it out because you guys know how I am. Thank you for that, Poppy. I did pin that. So, hey, Minnie Pearl, good to see you. Good to see you. It is good to see all you guys. You guys are the coolest. You are the coolest. Oh my goodness, this isn't monetized. Should we play a song or wait? Let me pull up my watch later list. Now, do you guys remember a character by the name of Doug No Thanks? He was kind of a crazy fella, he was. He really was. He really was. Oh, I know one thing we're going to talk about. Um, there's a, I watched a documentary on an Appalachian family, and it talked about um, it was like this family had this compound. They had all this property, and the whole family lived on all of this property. They had underground tunnels, all kinds of stuff. Um, Angel on Earth. What do you want me to do with that, darling? What would you like for me to do with that? So, where has Sonia came out and talked except for Voices Behind the Wall? If you go back, I believe it was Voices Behind the Wall where Dawn's sister Sonia actually said a few words, right? Oh, Pixie remembers Doug. Now, let me tell you what I remember about Doug. Because Doug and her Facebook, what do they think Sonia's going to say? Honestly, what do they think that after all this time that Sonia is going to come out and say? Sonia is Dawn's sister, and Sonia has always backed Dawn. So whatever goes on over at Prayer Gardens, I don't care about that. I do not watch that channel. So you know, are you pimping her out, Angel on Earth? So and I don't know Brooks, but I don't watch Brooks either. I'm not saying anything bad. I just don't know. No, it's fine that you said anything. I get it. I get it. Was you pimping your girl out? Was you? Hey, let me tell y'all something. People like to come over here and pimp out other people. But Constance Sue has something to say. She holds the pimp record over here. She does. I don't think anybody can top that. For real. That was so funny when she did that. I was like, she was funny. Uh, oh, you wasn't? I'm just playing Angel on Earth. We do have fun over here sometimes. We don't take things real seriously. For real. I know I have a resting bitch voice. I know I do. For sure. But no. Um, no, I'm good with it. I mean, is that who that lady on panel said stuff about Summer? I don't. Who are you talking about, Moonshine Girl? Oh, Kathy. We miss you too, hanging out. And there's nothing wrong with taking care of Mama. For real, girl. For real. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. SW, thank you for the $5 cash app. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. I really do. You guys, I'm a human being and I had priorities. My main bills are always my priority. And I ran short this month. And usually I'd never do that because my StreamYard is on my priority list. And you guys know how uncomfortable I feel even saying anything about it. So thank you so much, SW. Thank you. Yes, your family should be your priority. Absolutely. Absolutely. No doubt about it, for sure. So let me pull this up. I thought this was interesting. I have not watched the whole thing because you guys know that I love to play reaction to things, watching them with you guys. Please feel free to talk about whatever you want in chat. Um, please just don't mention creators. It's because if somebody comes into chat, they mention a creator and they say something bad about the creator, the channel holder is the one, in my opinion, that should take the hit for that. I've taken the hit many times for that. So now, Doug of No Face um, was I think that's a comma. Hold on. I hope I get this right. Hold on. Um, he kind of inserted himself the oh, Flies, thank you. Thank you, Flies. Thank you for the $10 cash app. Hey, we're getting there. We're getting there. Thank you so much. You got it does. It means the world to me. Like I said, I'm just not one that ever comes out and asks for help at all. Um, Me and Curse was talking about that, and we definitely don't want to be on the, the scammer list. So I think this is the first time I ever asked for assistance, and I do appreciate that. So, Doug, let me pull this up, and I have dropped Evil Teapot's link, and I'm going to go ahead and sub up there. So, Doug was okay. How do I say this? And if you guys remember anything about Doug, please feel free to put it in chat. I love to hear y'all's opinion. Poppy, Poppy, thank you, Poppy. Thank you so much, girl. That is so sweet. That's a lot, Poppy. That is a lot. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. You know I do. You're gonna make me cry for sure. She's 91 and you're 70. It's not easy, Kathy. Bless your heart, Kathy. My grandma uh, passed away. We had just had her 101st birthday, 101. And she was a tiny lady. When my grandma was shorter than me, I was like, girl. And it's okay, Poppy. It's okay. I appreciate you. I do. Girl, one day I'm going to have 1,000,000 subscribers and I'm going to pay you. I'm going to pay you, lady. One day, one day, I will be successful. I don't ever be successful on YouTube. People tend to not like me for some reason. I don't understand it. I really don't. Could it be because I call some of them weird ass bitches? I don't know. I don't know. Could it be because I call them out on their shit? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Don't mean I'll accept it. Oh, you will, girl. You will. I'll send it ups. I'll send it through ups. You will, ma'am. Okay, so what I remember of Doug, he was pretty entertaining. He did at Halloween, he had a diaper on. I wish I could find it. I think it's in my watch later list somewhere. But he was dancing to this song. It was freaking weird. He sat on the toilet. Hey DJ, good to see you again. You piss everybody off. Hey, it's better than pissing on them. You know what I mean? Better to be pissed off than pissed on, is what I say. Okay, so you know, he did parodies where he was sitting on the toilet acting like Dawn, showing his little ball sacks off and shit. And now y'all know why I had to unmonetize this live because you never know what I'm going to say. And so he and Benny Keys, you know, they liked each other. They did. I have that on my in my watch later list too. I don't know how to search my watch later list. But anywho, so Benny had went to the crime, well, not the crimes. Well, yeah, the crime scene. Benny had went to Monica Sherrod's house. Monica Sherrod was the dad's girlfriend of what was the boy's name? I know somebody in chat knows. What was the boy's name? And so Benny goes there and he admitted it. He admitted it. He was having relations with Monica and they were partaking, Ashburn, and thank you, Flies. I mean, they were kind of partaking in some substances together. I'll say allegedly, but I mean, he kind of admitted it. So, Doug was, you know, talking with Benny and texting about the situation. Doug ended up paying for a pizza that Benny went to get, and then Benny didn't have no money, so Doug had to pay for the pizza, and they ended up kind of, you know, kind of mad at one another. So, yeah, Summer Wells case come along. Here comes now. Doug had many conversations with Don Wells. Um, Doug did have some really good content where it came to the Summer Wells case and stuff like that, but Doug lost his channel. Now, off the top of my head, I don't remember exactly how Doug lost his channel. But Doug, if y'all remember, he was one of these people that would go and try to call out law enforcement for things that he said were unconstitutional and different things like that. Now, Doug's daddy, if I remember correctly, was in law enforcement. Um, yeah. Okay, hold on. And I'm sorry if I was echoing because I keep forgetting to go over and mute where I have my chat pulled up. And I want to say too, it was brought to my attention, and thank you for bringing this to my attention, that the second part of the live that I did, where Kirst had come over, she was my guest, and I love having Kirst come over and have conversations with me. Kirst had come over. We were doing a part 2 on Six Up, speaking with Ellie, and for Ellie, Fred Hill's sister. And for some reason, my chat didn't show up. I don't know if we've had a lot of problems with YouTube or what's going on, but I promise I will keep going back and checking and try to turn it on because that blew my mind. I was like, I very seldom take my chat down for that. Um, I think I may have done it once. Doug was very rude to my friend who worked at Hawkins County Jail. Wow. Well, I mean, Doug did that stuff. Now we hear other creators. Um, if y'all ever have time, go back and find the parody where White Boy Lockdown Radio called the jail when Benny was in there. Was it Benny or Ernie? One of them. But he was saying some wild stuff. Now, we absolutely did see that everywhere. People calling the jail and stuff like that. It was really, really, really strange. So Evil Teapot 4 months ago put out a video called I Am Doug, No Thanks Investigates, speaks about allegations of his past behavior. Well, I'm going to comment on it. I can't help myself. Now, I remember when a creator that I call Frowny, because I don't like to mention her name over here. I don't like her. Bottom line, don't hide that fact. Frowny on a maybe video, I can't remember, video or live, because I accidentally put it on slow mode, discovering. I put it on slow mode. It's my fault. That's what I get for not paying attention. No, it's my fault. Hang on, I'll go over and see if I can change it. Let me see if I can even find it now. I had all that stuff pulled up. Hold on. Poppy, I don't know if Poppy can hop in there and do it or not. We are going to let me see. Here it is. Poppy's got my. Okay, I got it, sweetie. Why, are you typing faster than that, doll? I changed it. John Wick and Mrs. T hanging out. Hanging out. Hanging out. Use the ruler on myself. I have it. I have a ruler. Shame on you, remain calm. You freaking hoe, bitch. Okay. So, now, Fly still blames YouTube. Thank you, Flies. Always at the party. Hey, Freeside, good to see you. Okay. So Doug is telling us about himself. Now, y'all know when I listen to something, I was telling you about Frowny. So Frowny is speaking with her husband, and she's saying, oh, I love Doug. It's all right if I love Doug. And he was saying something like, yeah, well, it was like, what was he supposed to say about it? For real. So we absolutely know at some point that Frowny loved Doug, which I'm like, whatever. Okay, let's get this started. Let's get it started. Let's get it started. And yeah. 5 or 7 leaf flowers. I love leaf flowers. I really do. Okay, so this is Remain Calm commenting on this video. Now, I will say trigger warning right now, because you never know what I'm going to remember once. Oh, you're talking about, what was her name? What was her name? Yeah, she tattooed Doug's, she branded herself with Doug's tattoo thing. She did. And I was like, girl, what are you doing? What are you flipping doing? All right, I hear dogs barking. Why am I hearing dogs barking? Hard freaking telling. Okay, here we go. I am not responsible what I say in this video because I have split personalities, and you never know. You never know what, remain calm say, or what the hoe remain calm say, or what the just pure out bitch remain calm's gonna say. Or there's another one. Let me think of her. I'll think of her and let you know. Oh, resting bitch voice remain calm. You are too, John Wick. Hey, nothing wrong with that. Was it justice or something? Yes. Yes. Flies, who was it? Truth and justice. I just remember I was like, what? They sent pics to become a mod. Wow. Not changing the subject, but do you guys remember when Dolly was having his mods, I'll say allegedly, um, inappropriate pictures of themselves and stuff, and then he was kind of using it to blackmail them? I don't know if she's still around or not, Flies, because once Doug lost his channel, um, he hasn't even came back to YouTube, right? Or did he come back and lose it again? I don't know. I haven't kept up with the Doug no thanks saga for real. But I did happen to see this. So, all right, here we go. Trigger warning.
Who's he's a prison dude who fucking doesn't know shit about cases either. He's making shit up as we go. I got blocked over there too. They didn't want to hear anything I had to say. They didn't even want to box me up.
Correct. And then he tattooed over it his channel name called No Thanks Investigates, which is comical because it got canceled. So it's a bad tattoo. But the first time I met Doug, he was trying to.
These are the guys who ruined the Summer Wells case. This guy and Benny Keys and all those trash people.
Another YouTuber, right? About a situation, right? And
these people are just a bunch of liars. Yeah, I know.
Doug. You were all up in that, mister. I believe that was lies about Dolly because all the women accusing him of that wanted to date him. Scored women, allegedly. Oh. So you didn't believe when the young lady came out and said that Dolly was trying to dinky do her on a bed at a motel after they went to a Ryan Upchurch concert? Because I heard about that. Now, let's not forget the girlfriend. She came on YouTube and she was like, now, not the correct verbiage, not quotation marks there. It's just kind of something that I remember. He was diddling Bullhorn Betty, the girlfriend said, and she was pissed. And she was like, I'm telling y'all right now, I'm the one who makes the candles. I keep his dog, right? I don't think she was. I don't think that. I mean, I ain't going to say the girl was lying. If that's her truth, I'm not here to say anybody who's telling their truth. I'm not going to call them a liar, but that's just me. Jaded. Hey, Jaded. For your information, she copied the Superman idea after I sent Benny a Superman shirt. Oh, that is really cool, Jaded. Glad she liked your idea. I thought it was kind of strange, but, who the fuck am I, Is that the chick that went on Matthews that time? I do not know, Mrs. T. I do not know. You would have to ask Mr. Matthew that. For real. Okay, here we go. So he's calling Benny and everybody associated with Summers case liars. They're all liars. Now, I don't know if they're all liars. I ain't going to say her and call anybody a liar, but she was a scorned woman too, and so was Betty when she found out Dolly had a girlfriend. Oh, yes, Betty wasn't happy about it. Was that Dolly? I remember Betty was like something about a hotel room and, you know, they were cuddling or whatever. But I get confused because JLR. I didn't know what to do when I found out that her and JLR were bumping uglies. I was like, what? I don't believe it. But yes, she wasn't happy because JLR found him a good woman. She wasn't. That's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I am sticking to it. Okay, so everybody's a liar, Doug.
Exactly who they are and where they are. His wife and her gap in her tooth.
I have receipts on this.
You don't have receipts on anything, bro. Show the receipts. Show the fucking receipts.
Exactly what.
Show me. They blocked you for asking for proof. Yeah, I'd like to see the proof.
Wrote with in the California prison. I said at the beginning of this live.
I'd love to see the proof. Show the receipts. Show every receipt that you've made a claim about tonight. Show every receipt about a claim you made tonight.
A lot of lies.
Because the defamation tonight is crazy. They have no receipts. This guy.
I am not sure who's even fucking talking in this. Does anybody know? Somebody who's defaming his character. Now, I get it. I get it, Doug. We do not like defamation freaking people. We don't like defamers of the character. For sure. Oh, it's White Boy. Oh, that's interesting. Dolly knows how to play women. He is a smooth talker and could possibly start his own cult. Oh, Dolly do right. That's what I call him. Dolly do right. Betty's best chance at cuddling anything is if she can blow it up and not pop it to see it fly away. Oh my goodness.
This guy literally is a total liar.
I know he's gonna.
They have none. They don't have any receipts.
Very well. He gets paranoid and he's gonna backpedal a lot.
I don't get paranoid. I don't drink. I don't do drugs or rugs. Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Doug. Now, I don't know when this was done. Let me see. Let me look at the description real quick. Hold on, whippersnappers. Oh, no description has been added to the video. Doggone it. Holy moly. Okay. But I do remember when that stuff was going on between him and Benny. And, you know, Benny finally came on Doug's and he was like, yeah, man, you know, I did do it. It was messed up. This is the thing, okay? It was really messed up because they were texting each other, and it is definitely out there where Benny was like, yeah, I would, and this is not exact verbiage, okay? But yeah, I was tapping Monica in this bedroom, and she's a screamer, and she was very happily screaming about our encounter. That's me saying it. And he was like, and her son was in the other room. WTF? For real, crazy. Yes, Doug was great entertainment. Hey, little Deb. Okay.
He's already reached out to people, like trying to get all of our information and using
Oh, you don't think I have it?
lawyer shit, and his dad's
He's
cop.
gonna
Yeah.
sue us and
Yeah, all this.
He's
I'm not worried about suing, believe me.
intended, that's all that.
What's up, you
is
guys?
all just game.
So is he only on TikTok now? Is he just a TikToker? I'm sure he's on the Rumble, right? He delivered a pizza that he went to get and he didn't have the money. Doug paid for the pizza, which was really cool. I mean, all he had to say was like, no, I'm not paying for the pizza. Yeah, that whole situation was kind of just really fucked up. It really was. And yeah, for real. He did have some comedic talent. Yeah, he did have a big ego for sure. Now, I never went over there. If I went into Doug's chat, it might have been one time. I watched him, but I never went into his chat or anything like that. I do remember, and I'd have to look and see in my notes if I have the conversations, some of the conversations that he had with Don Wells. And he was actually on the phone with Don Wells when he got pulled over and had the open container in his vehicle. And I think Don said something like, yeah, I took the liquor with me so Candace wouldn't drink it all or something. But Don had went to get cigarettes. And yes, Doug was on the phone with him when he got pulled over, for sure.
He's trying to manipulate you guys.
Who am I trying to manipulate? You guys are the one doing lives on me with a guy who's just making up nonsense.
and he's like, I'm
They blocked me. They wouldn't let me up. I tried to come up and be like,
Why?
what's up?
taken down by now. Like,
What's up?
old videos wouldn't still be.
I've never threatened any
The
women.
only time he's ever been in the courtroom is to get prison sentence and for restraining orders. That's it. There's
Now, look, I'm not going to talk about Doug's family, his life. He never hid the fact of, he was divorced and he loved his children, wholeheartedly. That's one thing I can say about Doug. I remember that he would have a conversation like every night with his grandfather. And he absolutely did love his boys, but the ex-wife and her family, if I remember correctly, didn't like him very much, for sure.
no
This guy knows nothing.
about the crank up on you.
Discovering. If you look at Summer's case, I should do that sometime. Look at Summer's case and write the names down of everyone that inserted themselves into a missing child investigation. There are plenty of people on that list. Yeah, Benny was funny. He absolutely was. And I'm sure he still is.
This is funny.
Listen, here's the deal.
Yeah, they blocked me in their chat.
Don't take no
I can't go on there. They blocked me on 3 of my channels.
And you'll be just.
They blocked me on 3 of my channels. After I made a comment, they blocked me.
Hey, wait, how can
I
they
don't
block you on your own channel? He said they blocked me on 3 of my channels. How does that work? Blocking yourself on your own channel. I didn't know that was a thing. Huh. Well, I guess if Remain Calm ever pisses me off that bad, I'll just block her ass. Which I can. I'm sure I can block myself, pulling my own chat up.
And people.
No, it wasn't, Danny. No, it wasn't a fake granddaddy. Don't tell me that, Danny. Oh my gosh. Granddaddy wasn't fake. He wasn't a fake granddaddy. I'm telling you right now, he was not a fake granddaddy. He admitted he had 3 accounts, which is the 3 channels. Okay. But didn't he lose his channel because he said some inappropriate things about a child or something? I don't remember what exactly he lost his channel for. If we didn't watch and support the people who insert themselves and cause trouble and drama, they wouldn't be here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting statement there. For sure. I'm glad I never did. You know, I'm really glad I never got caught up in all that nonsense. It was very easy to do, but I'm just glad I didn't. For sure. He lost his mind and lost several channels. Ooh.
Who's you guys with? They're not creators. They were subscribers who enjoyed the content. They you know, I don't know if it's a parasocial thing or whatever happened.
Hutch knows too.
He fell for his
This guy is his name's Matt, and he goes by White Boy Lockdown Radio. He's just trash. All they're trying to do is get views. It's the most views they'll ever get.
I don't think so, Doug. Okay. I think you need to really look at that situation because White Boy Lockdown Radio and his wife, oh my goodness. I know in her channel it's No Regrets. But they're doing very well for themselves. He used to go to Lisa Vanderpump's. He did. He went to Beverly Hills. Aw, thanks, Discovering. Damaged good with no regrets. Thank you. Actually, you can drop White Boy's link if you get a moment.
Yeah, exactly, Walter's guy. They've got no receipts. The picture that I saw of them saying that I have this 1488 on my legs, if you guys would just see that picture, I can show you the one number I do have left on my left leg, and it doesn't even look like the 4 that they have. Everything's been photoshopped.
Now, allegedly, because what I remember about this 1488 that was on his leg, it is wasn't it a gang affiliation number? It meant something, right? I should Google it and see.
Shot.
But the fact is,
Spreading false information.
we found out this shit and bring it
Thank
all
you,
out.
Gabby.
What are you talking about me? What did you say?
Getting gifts off the back end of all this shit.
Oh, no. This is not the most views I'm going to ever get right here.
Community off all this
Not at all.
now. He's
Walter's dad.
off the videos about
And see, this is what gets me. That's why I feel creators who don't continuously try to grift or, ask for donations to their channel when someone needs to do that. I don't know. I feel bad. I feel bad. It does put creators who don't grift and things like that in a really bad position. Because, like I said, me and Kirsten talked about it. The last thing that I ever want to happen to me is like Tragedy Pimps Exposed and those people doing content about me trying to grift, right? Yeah, it was very interesting when Cam and Benny and Doug and all of them would get up and have a conversation. He said horrible things about Nana's Angels Discovering, or the only ones I know are Nana's Angels and Nana for Life. I'm sure I know of another Nana, but I would have to think.
recovery and doing the parodies off all this now. So he just transferred platforms to think that he could get away with it over here.
I didn't transfer platforms either. I started a TikTok. I've never had a TikTok.
TikToker.
You're blocked.
Exactly what's happening,
Doug did.
You're blocked.
there's a couple
This is nothing. This is my backup channel, by the way, too.
Myra.
Oh, I filed the restraining orders. I don't have the restraining orders against me. I've never had a restraining order against me. I was the one that filed the restraining orders on all the content creators fucking putting out false
A
information.
little bit. I've
But
seen
they
some
ran.
videos, I think.
They have that
Um,
backwards.
I don't understand. Okay, I guess if you get a restraining order on a person in another state, basically a restraining order keeps them from talking about you. That would be the only thing, because I'm sure that people were not lining up to waste their money and their time to go and see Doug. I'm just saying. It is Myra, though. Wow. I miss Myra being around. I really do. When we lose somebody here on YouTube, at least with Myra, she had a channel and everyone can go back and, watch her and go back to a lot of her content. So, people affiliated with YouTube that we lose, at least everyone has that they can go back to and remember and stuff. So
Our trash.
A couple friends from True Crime over here too.
They don't have any. I'm the one who filed the restraining orders, not them. You guys, that's crazy. People will believe up anything anything this guy is saying right now. They're just believing. That's the funniest shit. That's why these people don't vet anything. I sent them my whole file to show them that all the shit that was being said was wrong, and they're still looking for fucking more.
All right. Well,
They're still trying. They're still trying.
that's his thing. He's going to stream.
after she passed away, he said things. Dawn made comments as well. I don't know why. What was the purpose in that? He did the restraining order. Oh, so they did the restraining orders against Doug. Don Wells didn't have a right to really say anything. He had conversations with Myra. So I'm sure she did things that people didn't like, for sure. I seen some of the things that she had put out, but I remember that I believe it was Dawn contacted her and wanted her to, send pictures back or give them the pictures that Kathy, the friend, had sent her. Well, Clyda Trent, maybe I'll do a live on Clyda Trent and let you guys see some of the receipts I have on Clyda and what I know of Clyda. And it's really strange because some of the individuals associated with Beach Creek, actually from Indiana, I'll say, actually are from the same area in Indiana that Clyda, yeah, you have a lot on Clyda. Yeah, that whole situation was weird that Dawn asked her to come, and yeah, that's a live that we'll have to do. Before I do it, I want to make sure that I pull up all the receipts that I have. Because you guys know I don't really like putting out a lot of what I have without showing the receipts on it first. I believe Nana was just holding on to hope. This summer was live. Somebody who had money and could. Okay, discovering. So, I don't want to kind of switch us around about summer, but one thing I'll say that people who followed Summer's case from the very beginning, that was something that Dawn Wells always said. Dawn Wells, and this is highly my opinion, always felt that people who had money were better people than what he was. This is the way it seemed to me. He talked about, even with the boys, if someone with money gets them, then, they can do this or that for the boys and different things like that. So, yes, absolutely. Absolutely, Mrs. T.
They're still trying.
Here's the thing.
Good.
So if you
Bring the broom
right now,
so I can clean up this mess.
I can't believe they know all this about him. Like, this guy is.
These people think they're going to hurt my feelings. They're not going to hurt my feelings. They're not going to hurt my feelings. I can.
Doug, I bet after you did this, I bet you went in the closet and you cried. Now, you should have got a hold of me. I would have sent you some sandpaper for real. Oh, Dawn even said she put Summer in her car and drove her away. Said that Clyda did? He said Clyda did that? This is a thing, though. If we really think about it, I don't know how law enforcement would not have spoke with Clyda at some point. Maybe they didn't, but maybe they did. Now, the interview, oh my gosh, please don't get mad at me, creator. I can't remember off the top of my head. They actually had a conversation with Clyda. It was really interesting, but yeah, I'll have to go back and find it.
Care less.
What he did to women with these restraining orders, and
I filed them against these women because they're crazy.
So I can't wait to introduce you guys to them, and a lot of
who are you gonna bring up? Fake
Ghostbusters. That's who we're calling. Ghostbusters.
People. Thank you, Nicholas.
That he's stalked and harassed.
I've never stalked and harassed a family ever.
Weirdo.
The families contact me, by the way.
People who are trying to get their stuff right, sober.
Bring the broom. You can bring the broom. This guy hates me because they had no views, and I was finishing cases that they were trying to make money off of.
I don't believe you finished cases. Summer's case has not been finished. Even if they spoke to her, she could have had her somewhere else if it was a planned meeting. What we have to remember too, Clyda wasn't a young woman. She was up there in, the WCIA newsroom lady. The milk carton pictures brought out my awareness in missing children. It's a shame you can't see pictures of them anymore. Yeah, Debbie, I wonder why they, I was actually there. I talked about a young boy who was the first missing child that was placed on the milk carton. The very first child that was featured on the milk carton was a little boy by the name of Etan, E-T-A-N, Potts, P-A-T-Z. It appeared on the milk carton in the early 1980s, following his disappearance on May 25th, 1979, while walking to his school bus stop in New York. Wow. Now, I don't know as far as children who were found that pictures were on the milk carton. Of the 200, only 2 were ever found alive. Only 2 were ever found alive. Now, the reason they quit putting kids on the milk carton were for a couple reasons. One was because some people saw it as bringing sadness to the breakfast table. Others felt it was frightening for children to see the missing kids on the milk cartons. Now, there was a story, and it was called The Face on the Milk Carton. It is a fictional one, but it was inspired by real-life practice of featuring missing kids on the milk cartons. Wow. That is something right there. Yeah, for sure. Hey, Mimi Jean, what is up? Okay, here we go. I've talked about it a little bit before, and, you know, I've talked about my granddaughter. She's so sensitive, and she just, she knows that there's a little girl who went missing. Nana's, you know, was writing about it, keeping notes or whatever. But I didn't sit and make her aware of all the shenanigans taking place and different things like that. I would not put that on a little girl. Marjorie West is the oldest in 1938. Was she on a milk carton? In 1938? I think they should put it on Mary Jane packages. I don't know about that, Danny. For sure. Let's talk about ghosts, because I haven't seen one. May, you don't want to see one. Why would you want to see a ghost? They're freaking scary. Yeah, you don't know where it would end up, that's for sure. That's kind of crazy.
Exploiting little kids. Exploiting little kids. He was talking about a case where he was like, there's a kid that's gay, right? And this and that. The whole story he made up is wrong. It's about Dylan Rounds, actually. I was the one who defended him and his family.
Excuse me, Doug, but yes, the individual that was finally arrested in the Dylan's Round case was someone who liked the same sex. And his family did not like Jim Terry, the private investigator, coming out and speaking on that subject at all. That is a whole case in its own. Ghosts are cool. I've seen one and seen a lot of unexplained things I believe were ghosts, but I couldn't see them. Yeah. Look, I'm the type of person, I had a ghost. I lived in a house. There was a ghost and just doing weird little things. I finally said, because I found out that the individuals we were renting the house off of, it belonged to one of their mothers, and she had passed away, and she wasn't very happy that they put her in a nursing home and things like that. And so I finally said, look, if you are not going to help me clean, you got to go. And believe it or not, the ghost left. Now, I've told everybody about the heartbeat thing, so I'll tell you real quick. Anywho, when I was younger, I ate an apple that the neighbor had poisoned. I was just very small. I remember getting very, very sick from it. Well, my dad didn't have nice things to say to the man about it, and he passed away from a heart attack within a short amount of time after my dad was like, you almost unalived my daughter. And one night, me and my sisters all shared a room. There were bunk beds in the room. And I woke up to the loudest heartbeat. Doot, 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 doot. It scared me so bad, I ran out of the room. Slept with mom and dad that night. I'll never forget it. Now, what let me know that I was telling the truth, the very next night, my sisters heard the same thing, and it scared the crap out of them. So, for sure. Well, yeah. Companies just don't, they just don't do that anymore. They don't do that anymore. Yeah. Okay, Debbie, I got your text. Thank you. I'm not going to say your real name, but thank you for the $5 Cash App. I really appreciate that. That means so much. All right, let me see where we're at, you guys. Well, come on. Come on. Okay, wait a minute. 20. Okay, wait. About $30 shy. I'm still $30 shy. And I know some of y'all don't care. And I'm good with it if you don't care. For real. I am just very appreciative of all you guys. No, and they don't. A lot of people don't talk about missing and exploited children anymore. And, I've seen some great creators who started out talking about missing and exploited children. And, they have found that talking about other stuff gives them more of the views and stuff like that. So, I don't begrudge any of them that find their niche somewhere else. It is very hard for me on my channel, and my channel has been slow growing because I don't want to give up uh, I don't want to give up the talking about the missing and exploited children. Had a few ghosts in our houses growing up that would move things, open doors, cabinets, windows, turn TV, radio on and off, and my mom named him George. There's a lot of people who name their ghost. They really do. They name their ghost. Some people that you guys can go watch that do talk about missing and exploited children. Flies puts out she puts out the posters. Arctic Fox, Duchess, Crystal, I'm not sure if she's staying with a lot of that. It's sad to me that, people pour their heart into doing that. And, it's very discouraging when you feel like people don't care. It is very discouraging for sure. You got to make a video to keep people interested in missing it. Yeah, definitely cursed. Definitely.
Against the
It's
people.
so deep from what we had already
His
watched
family and I still talk, by the way.
for hours.
Dylan Rounds and my family still talk.
that we were like, no, like this goes beyond just like a few things.
Yeah, Blue's he's got some weird vibes going on. All these people do. That's why they all have to hide behind a fake name.
If I tell you, you guys know Danielle.
No, I never made
What do you mean hide behind a fake name? We all, not very many people have their real channels with their real name put in it. I don't hide my name. I mean, I don't have anything to hide for sure. But yeah, a lot of people don't use the real name. Where I think people say WTF is when a creator never will show what they really look like. And some people are like, why not? Why can you not show what you really look like? I mean, I have showed myself looking the worst I've ever looked. But I'm not a big body shamer over here either. I don't shame people for their bodies for sure.
Of a missing children.
Shaming you guys, what's he gonna tell?
That was people like them.
Followers of-
I called out people for doing that shit. They're mad because I called out a lot of creators. This is the funny thing. Yeah, these people are just trash.
You know what I mean? So the more tries to even.
It's the most lies in
You
the
guys remember the 7x7 shit, right?
world. Like, none of it's fucking true.
It is
That I was friends with the fake PI. I was the one that called that guy out, Jim Terry, and then they came after me.
we bring receipts, so
Doug, this just came to Remain Calm's mind. I tell you guys all the time, I hear something and poof. So from my understanding, what I remember, because I remember Jim Terry, the PI, talking about that he came up on your panel, Doug, and it was pretty successful. He, if I remember correctly, said that you were trying to get him to work out some kind of a deal where you would make some money or something. It was really freaking weird. What if the creator is, say, a burn victim and they're shy about their looks? No, I would completely understand that, Cursed. I would completely understand that, absolutely. But some people, you know how people are. Was Jim Terry a fake PI? No, actually, he was a real PI. He was a real PI. Oh, thank you. I don't want to say your real name. Thank you for the $5 Cash App. Thank you, darling. We're getting there, everybody. Jim, no, he was an actual PI. He was hired by Dylan Round's grandparents are the ones that hired him to start with. Dylan's mother did not like Jim Terry, and so from what I remember, they fired him. They did not like some of the things that he was saying about Dylan and stuff. Now, I am not going to sit on my channel and say that that young man preferred the same sex. I did not know Dylan. I am not going to say that. But Dylan's mom was not happy about that at all. But it did come out that the guy who was arrested and charged with what happened to Dylan was a man that did prefer the same sex, from what I remember. I know a lady shot herself accidentally holding a long gun. She's pregnant. So wow. That's horrible, May May. Most of us don't care about looks. Terrible looking people have lots of followers. Some do get picked on. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I personally don't care what people look like. I really don't. You know what's on the outside to me does not compare to what's on the inside of some people. And if you could be the most beautiful person in the world, but if your heart is ugly, you know, that beauty doesn't mean shit, right? I don't know, Cursed. I'd have to go back and try to remember what all I had learned covering that case. For sure.
Nobody made merch of missing children. Not on my time. All I had was the name of my channel. They're scripting they're flipping the script to try to make it as worse as possible. With no valid receipts. This guy's just coming up and talking. No receipts. You notice how he's like, come over to my YouTube channel.
I just want to talk to you.
This guy's just trying to make views up.
Go ahead and finish it just before you go.
Bobby T.
I mean, I'm just repeating that.
These people are going to actually listen to this guy and take him for face value.
He's saying you have no receipts. You have nothing to show them. He
Nope.
says, you have zero proof of anything.
Yep.
The only time there's been any restraining orders, it's him
Well,
restraining
wait, that's not White Boy talking. I don't know who that is.
orders against other people.
Yep.
Never had one against them.
Yep. Thank you, Bobby. That's true.
Something for you to respond to. But we've
Yeah,
had multiple people in our chat point out they were
The t-shirts. Because, see, there was a lot of people who were putting Summer's picture on t-shirts and selling them, candles, all kinds of different stuff. They were really selling some stuff. I wanted to ask if you ever looked at I have looked at the Amy Bradley case, and when Kirst lets me know when she would like to talk about the Amy Bradley case, I am going to, because we're going to do that on your channel, right, Kirst? No, I completely get people not wanting to be stalked and stuff. I completely get that. I have absolutely been watching that case and keeping up with it. It's just something I haven't talked about on my channel. But yeah, I don't know if Kirst wants to do it on her channel or this channel, but I'm pretty much ready whenever she gives me the little sign that she's ready. Can't say white boy, you have to say a person who is not colored. How the hell am I supposed to do that when his channel's White Boy Lockdown Radio. Yes, I've been watching. You want to do it here? Okay, girl. You just let me know what day you want to do it and what time you want to do it, and I will gladly do it. I really will. Amy Bradley case is very interesting. She went missing from a cruise ship, and they have found evidence throughout the time that she's been missing that the probability, in my opinion, that she was taken and trafficked is very high, you guys. Very wild. The whole thing is just wild.
Able to find up to 7. There's
Show 'em.
YouTube videos with his own voice,
Show them.
which is documented with his
Nobody can show anything, Doug. You had your channel taken away. So unless you had all of that content, because you lost all your Summer Wells content and everything, right? Didn't he?
own videos documenting a lot of things that we are.
Tell this guy, Bobby, tell this guy to show.
She did not work on the cruise ship Discovering. She was actually there vacationing with her brother and her parents.
All of his receipts instead of his lies, and look up his background. Look up this guy's background before you believe people.
That have hours upon
Who are you
hours of
talking
footage
to in
and
the
voice
room?
notes from Doug with his own documentation. His
3
own proof. He
times?
sent
Bring it.
Guys?
That's how he wants to go about
He
it.
said he
Bring it.
in here, but you guys blocked him because he had the file that's empty. It's like, first of all, showing a file of arrest does not.
No, yeah, what he's
does-
talking about is he did send over his DOJ report.
I did.
And the thing is, the questions that we have, a lot of it has to do with his online behavior. That's not going to be on the DOJ report. He wasn't arrested for that.
There's no online behavior besides this false information that all these people are putting out to try to defame me.
The thing about-
Smear campaigns.
We know his deal.
Smear campaign
He's got good addiction. Not
at its finest.
Not everyone gets into the shit he's gotten into. But I'm not going to expect like a clean
Oh, wait a
record and
minute.
everyone's perfect and sunshine and rainbows. But yeah, his report wasn't great to see, but it also
Okay, hold on a second, you guys. My it says my camera, but I'm gonna stop this and then reboot it up here. Remember the girl that worked on the cruise ship when she disappeared years ago, but I don't know. I don't remember hearing. Yeah, she was 23 at the time in 1998. And yeah, the whole freaking story is something else. Something else. Yeah. Yes, hundreds of people do go missing from cruise ships. They absolutely do. Kirst, I know that it's, like afternoon time's good for you. So, yeah, you can either do that but also, you can also share on my channel. So if you have anything you want to share, you should be able to share it when you're up on panel. So, but yeah, if you do the videos with the pics and stuff, I will happily put it up here. And I really want everybody to come. It is going to be so interesting. It really is. And I don't know if anybody's ever hung out and listened to me and Kirst have conversations, but she is someone that I love having conversations with, for real. Okay.
didn't answer the questions that we had and
Because-
the accusations that are out there.
Yeah, accusations, because that's all they fucking are.
He thought he was going to get support and a video from us, and that we were going to say how great Doug is.
No, that's not what I was looking for, Britt. Britt thinks she knows everything. Britt thinks she knows everything, right? These people are
I don't
trash.
know, Brett.
But he, police reports and all that, first of all, his whole family's in the police department, I'm sure. But anyway, even if it wasn't them doing anything.
My family wouldn't do anything for me like that.
Reports cleared because they did probation or whatever. I got.
They don't clear reports for that. They don't clear restraining orders.
My record's clean, you know what I'm saying? So that gets manipulated all the time as well. Never mind.
Nothing is manipulated. My dad's turned me in. My brother's fingerprinted me for shit. That's what's funny.
Creepy stuff going on.
He does, and that's a good point. And everybody has a past or skeletons. It's not about that. It's about
Well, what do you guys? Then what is this whole fucking 6 hours of lives for against me?
not a lot.
It's called a smear campaign at its finest.
Doug, somebody actually had enough shit on you that they talked about you for 6 straight hours. Holy guacamole. I'm going to give them a medal. My friend went on a cruise ship. They went into the sea swimming, and a lad I knew dived into the water, had a heart attack because of the temperature changed. Oh, that is horrible. That is horrible, May. That is sad. That is so sad. Thank you, Debbie, for dropping curse link.
It's comical to me and really gross at the same time to learn that he's in the sober community. He was just on Kick Wasted.
I don't even go on Kick.
Memory. And just like
I don't even go on Kick.
Oh, I forgot about Kick.
This is comical.
He has no idea. He
Show me my last Kick live. Show me my last Kick live, please.
It's not
Just now in one breath, he says that.
Show me my last Kick live.
Where everybody lives, the three.
What is up with these apps? We got TikTok, Kick, Rumble. I'm sure there's a lot more. I'm sure there's a whole lot freaking more. You're fine, May.
up here?
We do.
Where all of them live, and he has their information.
That's true.
He said that about Blue, and then he went begging for
Yeah,
information.
Blue.
So here's
And
the
then 2
thing.
seconds.
No, yeah, Blue was pissed off when I said his age to him too.
Just said that. 3
Here's the
seconds.
thing. He's already digging. We're aware that he's digging. That's fine.
Then if it
But with it,
pissed him
yesterday when
off.
he said I attacked him.
You did.
I went up there. We gave him a warning that he should get out ahead of this, right? What we saw wasn't great.
No, you gave me warnings so you guys could make content about this, right? And nonstop bullshit.
This is what's out there.
Public info is online, right? They could go for all that shit.
He ignored, he talked over, he yelled over, and then claimed that he was being attacked and yelled at. My voice sounds shitty today.
This is
It
what's
sounded
funny.
worse yesterday. I couldn't yell if I wanted to.
He's always it's so he's
Keep making up the lies. Just keep making them up. Just keep throwing them out there.
he's doing the same exact behavior. You know what? This is actually funny. He did.
What's funny, Matt? What's funny, Matt?
Very cowardly to say that where some women live.
Exactly.
What is
No, I have information that I was given, by the way.
It says they can all be touched.
Yes, they
They can
can.
all be touched.
Yeah.
I'm taking that as a
Always
threat. So if he wants to
giving
keep going that way, I'm not going to the record.
Ooh, so scared. So scared, Britt.
David,
Hey,
look
Doug,
what's
come
out.
find me, Doug. Come find me.
And we already have.
You should come where I am at. What are you gonna do, Bobby T?
Sir, he's gonna stub his toe if it's you.
What are
He
you-
is so funny. He's always been like that. He's like, come for me. Come for me. Let's fight. He used to say that shit all the time. Come on, let's fight. You left YouTube, went to Kick and Twitch. I forgot about Twitch. Because you're going to rumble, okay? While you're rumbling, you're going to kick. Now, if you kick right, you're going to make the person twitch. What else? Freaking weird, right? I am very guilty of not having any of those apps. I downloaded Discord because I was going to go into Matthew's Discord, but I don't know what name he goes under. So it's like WTF, right?
Gonna do, Bobby?
He's not gonna do anything. He's gonna stub his toe.
I never did.
You're gonna
watch
stomp me?
Yippee.
Okay, come stomp it then,
And
Bobby.
then he had stubbed
Come
his
stomp
toe
me.
for 15 weeks in a row.
Why do you keep turning around, Doug? Is there somebody back there that you're talking to? Do you got a ghost? Are you talking to the ghost? All right, we are about done with Doug. I don't even know what to fucking say about Doug anymore. But, you know, I'm nosy, okay? Now, I am going to try not to keep you guys on here all freaking day, but I am pimping myself out for my StreamYard. And we are almost there. We are almost there. We have, oh my goodness, I am $24 short. $24. And then we will be there. And I thank you guys so much. You know I appreciate you. I really do. I feel like a fucking idiot even mentioning it. I really do. Yeah, I don't have any of those apps. I know you're working, Poppy, and you know, I appreciate you so much, Poppy. I really do. Girl, Poppy goes above and beyond for this channel. She is very kind. You know, she is. Her name is Rebecca Corium from a Disney cruise ship. I remember, do you guys remember? I think I talked about it just a little bit. I didn't go into a lot of detail. The little girl fell off a cruise ship. Her father immediately dove in to be with his daughter. Now, they did turn that cruise ship around and came back, and thank goodness that the cruise ship was on it. They were in the water, I believe, like 15 or 20 minutes, but the cruise ship immediately turned around. It was so cool. It really was. I'm like, wow. I think she was, I want to say like 5. I could be wrong, but I want to say she was about like 5 years old, I think. Thank you, Poppy.
You're only tough towards women. And Doug, you forget. We knew that you were watching this.
This guy's a rat. This guy's a known prison rat talking shit.
He's definitely watching.
How do you know he's a
No, I'm only
prison rat?
recording it because it's going to be for information that I need. So keep going, please.
Wait till you ladies, and also
Wait till you ladies what?
Stories from these women.
Wait till you ladies what?
But you know, I'm just gonna give all this to you guys. But I am gonna put some TikTok content out there because I want his audience.
Good, you got 300 followers. Who cares? Put it out.
You're not a good person.
Put it up.
You've never been in each.
Yeah, okay. For somebody who doesn't even know me, this guy talks a lot of shit.
What you're doing over here on TikTok, that is like complete scumbaggery.
Scumbaggery. What have I done on TikTok?
I love that word, scumbaggery. Scumbaggery, scallywags. That is a new name. Scumbaggery, scallywags.
I haven't done one thing.
40 followers that he has in his life that were saying,
Let's do it.
asking T and the girls for information and proof, and you guys would
Show the receipts. Show the receipts besides fucking fake allegations through fucking fake videos and YouTube videos and fucking Reddit shit. Why don't you show some valid receipts? Valid receipts. Valid receipts.
We can look.
Doug. You are something else. All right. We need something else for a moment. For a moment. I got so much here. Did you guys know that people can get high off of HIV medicine? I just learned that. That is crazy. Hold on. How do people get high off of HIV? The HIV medicine. I seen it on Vice. So yes, really strange. While HIV medications are crucial for treating the virus, some individuals have misused them for recreational purpose, seeking psychoactive effects. Recreational use of HIV medication poses significant health risk, can lead to severe consequences. Resistance. Misuse can contribute to the development of drug-resistant HIV strains, potentially making treatment less effective for those who generally need it. Exacerbated side effects. HIV medications, when taken as prescribed, can have various side effects. Misusing them, especially in combination with other substances, can heighten these effects, leading to potentially dangerous and even fatal outcomes. Now, drug use, particularly injection drug use, can increase the risk of contracting other infections like Hep C. Sharing needles can spread blood-borne diseases like HIV and hepatitis. Some HIV medications can affect mood and mental well-being, and recreational use can further destabilize mental health. Hey, Slam. I don't like the dude on the screen. Here, I'll give you a break. Okay. Recreational substance use can interfere with the person's ability to adhere to their HIV treatment regimen, jeopardizing health, potentially leading to treatment failure. Wow. Combination of HIV meds with other unregulated substances can lead to unpredictable and harmful effects on the body. That is crazy. Why would you want to take HIV drugs to cop a buzz? Let me see. Hold on. Drug interactions between HIV medications and recreational drugs can cause an increase in dangerous side effects. For example, overdoses have been linked to interactions between some HIV medicines and recreational drugs, such as ecstasy or painkillers. Now, drinking alcohol definitely does not work out well. That is weird. See, I told you guys, I get weird shit all the time. No, I do not need to take a test for that at all. So basically, it has to do with the liver. Liver removes harmful substances. Toxins are produced when the liver breaks down the chemical stuff. So, wow. Wow, man. Wowsy, wow. Clairol at the beginning. Was that Crime and Justice? Yes, thank you, Wicked Stitches. Crime and Justice. That's who got the cat. That's who got the tattoo of Doug. Doug's TikTok is I am Doug 2.0. I don't think I'm going to make it to TikTok to watch it. I'm not going to sit here and say that Doug, didn't have some interesting content about Summer's case, because he really did. He really did. But that's what happens to a lot of some creators. Their ego gets so big that, they think they can just say or do whatever they want. And, they're not ever going to pay the price. So, for sure. For sure. For sure, for sure. Now, okay. All right. I've been on here an hour and a half. We are going to. Okay, done. This is a real interesting story. And it is about, the channel is called Great Fear. I will drop the link. And it's a story about an Appalachian family that were busted, I believe, in 1982. And that's the year I graduated from high school. Great Fear. And I'm just going to, since it is audio, I am going to just play the audio, and we'll just talk about it as I'm playing it. So this story is wild. They talk about a family. They owned a lot of property. They, trailers, different things set up over all this property. And they had all these tunnels, all of these tunnels. They were cannibals. They were going around and kidnapping children. It's a crazy story, but we're going to listen to it. Like I said, we're going to just talk about anything you guys want. So I will play the audio on this. What brought this to my attention, I love listening to stories about Appalachia and different things like this. What piqued my interest on this is the way that they talked about over the years, this family had, they had tunnels under all the properties linking to each property, and they had dug these tunnels and had put different rooms in these tunnels. And when they found the tunnels, it was sad because there was actually children who had written their names on the walls and stuff. It's freaking crazy. But like I said, we're gonna talk about whatever you guys want. I'm just gonna play this.
On October 13th, 1982, but the dogs in Harlan County kept howling until dawn. This wasn't the first time silence had fallen like a blade across the Cumberland Mountains, cutting through the night air, thick with coal dust, and secrets that festered in the hollow's belly. What happened in those Kentucky hills over 3 decades reveals how
Hopefully you guys can
isolation
hear it.
can twist a bloodline into something unrecognizable, and how an entire community can choose blindness over truth.
I don't know
The creak
why
of rotting
Doug
porch
changed
boards,
his hair.
the metallic tang of rusted well water,
Yeah, he
the
did
damp earth that never
discovering. I
quite dried.
agree.
These were the textures of Copperhead Hollow,
I
a
agree.
place where the McCready family had lived, bred, and buried their
Copperhead Hollow. Copperhead Hollow. Oh, that's nice, John. Thank you.
sins for over a century. Population: 43 souls, though counting souls in Copperhead Hollow always proved tricky.
43.
The hollow stretched like a scar between 2 ridges, accessible only by a gravel road that the county stopped maintaining sometime in the 1960s. Mail came twice a week when the postal worker remembered.
Twice a week. Mail came twice a week. That's kind of crazy, isn't it? I think we all love Appalachian stories. Flies listens to Appalachian stories too. But this family is crazy. I mean, what they got caught doing is horrible. So I'll just give you the rundown on it. I don't necessarily need to play it. I don't know if you guys really be interested, but the link is there. You guys go check it out. So there was a report of shots being fired in that area. So the law enforcement official went there. I've got to play some of it though.
Electricity arrived in 1974, but most families still use kerosene lamps.
1974 is when they got electric. But of course, these people wasn't paying their electric. They had it hooked up, of course, to the main line.
Lamps out of habit or stubborn pride. The McCready compound sat at the hollow's dead end, where the creek bent around a cluster of trailers and lean-tos that seemed to multiply like mushrooms after rain. By 1980, 3 generations of McCreadys lived within shouting distance of each other. Patriarch Ezekiel, his 6 children, and a growing brood of grandchildren, whose parentage blurred like watercolors in rain. The family tree looked more like a thorn bush, tangled, dense, and dangerous to touch. County records showed 14 births at the compound between 1975 and 1982, but only 9 death certificates were ever.
So 14 kids allegedly were born, but only 9 death certificates were ever acknowledged.
Filed. The first hint that something had gone wrong came from a social worker named Margaret Finley, who made the mistake of trying to enroll the McCready children in school. Her report, dated September 5th, 1981, described severe developmental delays consistent with prolonged isolation and possible nutritional deficiencies. She noted that several children appeared to share identical facial features despite being listed as cousins rather than siblings.
Okay, so basically what the social worker seen were children that resembled, I guess, some of the individuals in the family. But then again, I mean, you know, there's a lot of individuals, that do look like family members, you know.
More disturbing was her observation that the youngest children seemed unnaturally fearful of adults outside the family unit. Margaret's supervisor buried the report. Mountain families had their ways, he reasoned, and the McCreadys weren't bothering anyone. Besides, Ezekiel McCready had friends in the sheriff's department, men who remembered when his moonshine had kept their own families fed during the lean years. Some silences, the mountains teach you, are worth keeping. But the hollow itself began to change. Hunters reported that game trails avoided the McCready property, as if the animals sensed something predators instinctively fear. The creek that ran past their compound started running murky year-round, thick with sediment that didn't match the local geology. And at night, when the wind was right, neighbors heard sounds that didn't belong to any creature they recognized. Something was growing in the dark. By the summer of 1982, the youngest McCready children had stopped venturing beyond the tree line that marked their property. The older ones emerged only to trade pelts and mason jars of clear liquid for supplies in town, their eyes never quite meeting those of the store clerks who served them. They moved with the careful silence of people who had learned that noise invited attention, and attention invited pain.
And so, just kind of getting to it, it ended up that this family were cannibals. They were going around to campgrounds in different areas, and they would make these children that they were taking these children by making these children think that it was safe to go with them. Now, what's really weird is they had a lady and the children would sing songs it was weird to me. These children would hear this woman singing these, calm songs, and they would actually go with her, feeling safe somehow.
What would you do if you suspected something unspeakable was happening just 5 miles from your own home, but every instinct told you that looking too closely might make you the next victim? The answer came on that October night, when Deputy Sheriff Michael Torres decided to investigate reports of gunshots from the hollow and discovered that some family trees
Yes,
grow their roots in
discovering like
ground
the
too
Pied
poison
Piper.
to sustain anything resembling humanity. Deputy Michael Torres had seen plenty of mountain families living rough, but the smell hit him before he'd even stepped out of his patrol car. Sweet decay mixed with wood smoke and something else that made his stomach turn. This wasn't poverty. This was something that had learned to hide behind poverty's familiar face. What Torres found that night would haunt Kentucky State Police files for decades, becoming the kind of case that veteran investigators whispered about in break rooms and rookie cops weren't allowed to touch. The gravel crunched under his boots as he approached the main trailer, a double wide that sagged in the middle like a broken spine.
Now, I don't know why this law enforcement official even stayed to see what the fuck was going on, because the way that he describes what he basically walks in on is fucking crazy. This story, if it wasn't factual, you would think that it was just something that was made up.
His flashlight beam caught movement in the window shadows that seemed to dart away from the light with unnatural speed. The air tasted of copper and fear. 3 children emerged from behind a rusted pickup truck, their ages impossible to determine. They might have been 8 or 18. Malnutrition and something else had stunted their growth in ways that defied easy categorization.
Now, the thing about it is with cannibals, I think that I'm going to Google it real quick. What? Cannibals. Okay, so when people engage in cannibalism, their physical appearance doesn't necessarily change to be visibly different from other humans. Some groups who practice ritual cannibalism for a specific reason, like the 4 people of Papua New Guinea, were affected by a disease called Kuru. Kuru is a neurodegenerative disease primarily affecting the 4 people. Wow. Okay. All right. The symptoms of Kuru include arm and leg pain, severe coordination problems, difficulty walking, headache, difficulty swallowing, tremors and muscle jerks, hence the name Shivering Death, emotional instability, including depression with outbursts of uncontrollable laughter. It eventually leads to death, usually within a year of the symptoms appearing. Wow, that's wild.
Their clothes hung in tatters, but their eyes held an intelligence that seemed almost feral. Watching, calculating, waiting. The oldest, a girl with matted hair that might once have been blonde, spoke in a dialect so thick that Torres had to strain to understand. "Ain't supposed to be here after dark,"
Chris.
she said, her voice carrying an authority that belonged to someone much older. "Granddaddy don't like strangers." Torres identified himself, explained he was responding to reports of gunfire. The children exchanged glances that seemed to communicate volumes without words. The girl tilted her head toward the largest trailer, where warm light leaked through torn curtains. Through the
Another thing I found interesting was they had their own communication. They all communicated in a way that only they understood.
thin walls, Torres could hear what sounded like a family dinner, the clink of utensils, low conversation, someone laughing at a joke he couldn't quite make out. His radio crackled. Unit 7. What's your status?
Oh, there's
Torres
beautiful
hesitated.
people
Protocol
that
demanded he call
live
for backup,
in
but backup was
Appalachia.
40 minutes away on mountain roads that turned treacherous after dark.
Now, see, I've talked about this before. Law enforcement in some of these areas, it will take them an hour to get there. It will take them a long time to get there. And then they have to be careful if they go by themselves or even take one other person with them. You never know what you're going to walk into. Some of these people have booby traps set up everywhere. And you see it in the movies where, you know, someone, especially in horror movies, somebody will fall into the trap and they end up falling on spikes and all kinds of stuff like that. This stuff is very, very, very true.
The children watched him with the patience of hunters who had learned to wait for their prey to make the first mistake. When he knocked on the trailer door, the sounds inside stopped immediately. Complete silence, as if everyone had simply vanished. Then slow footsteps, deliberate and measured. The door opened to reveal Ezekiel McCready himself, a man Torres recognized from old arrest photos. Though the years had carved him into something harder and more angular, his smile revealed teeth filed to points, a modification Torres had never seen outside of prison gang files. Evening, deputy. Bit late for social calls, ain't it? Behind Ezekiel, Torres could
It's
see into
weird.
the trailer's main room.
It is
A lo-
really weird to me that people take and file their teeth like vampire teeth. It is freaking crazy. But people do it. They still do it. A lot of those areas don't even have police. They usually have to call county or state. Most towns around me don't have police or police stations. Wow, that is really interesting.
long table dominated the space, set for what appeared to be a feast. Steam rose from serving dishes, and the rich smell of cooked meat filled the air. But something about the scene felt wrong. The proportions were off. The shadows.
See, and that's the thing that got me with Lawson when he talked about, you know, he was like, no, you know, that's a dead end street. There's not, you know, a lot of substance activity there. And he wasn't telling the truth. 46 minutes to get up the mountain our family lives on, not counting driving to town first, then back to the hospital. Wow, Sage.
Fell at strange angles, and the other family members who sat around the table seemed frozen in place, their forks halfway to their mouths. The feast that never ended. Torres counted 7 adults and at least a dozen children, though in the dim light it was hard to tell where one person ended and another began. They sat so still they might have been mannequins, except for their eyes, which tracked his every movement with the focused attention of predators evaluating a potential meal. Just checking on reports of gunshots, Torres managed, his hand instinctively moving to his service weapon, making sure everyone's safe. Ezekiel's filed teeth caught the light as his smile widened. Safe as houses, deputy. Just doing a little night hunting. These mountains, they're full of things that only come out after dark. The statement hung in the air like smoke from a funeral pyre. Torres knew he should press further, demand to search the property, assert his authority as a law enforcement officer. But the eyes watching him from inside the trailer held a hunger that transcended mere poverty or desperation. This was.
I would have got in my fucking vehicle and been like, later. If I had creepy ass children looking at me, I doubt very seriously I would have even went up to the trailer. I would have been like, hey, I'll be back when I have backup. Freezers are stocked up with bread, milk, everything, because it can be so hard to come down. I can imagine, Sage. It's probably beautiful, though, isn't it? My husband was burned on the face when he was a kid. His skin was sagging. His grandma put potatoes. Wow, that's interesting, Mrs. T. And it healed? Wow.
Was something that had been feeding for a long time and had developed a taste for more than just the deer and rabbits that roamed these hills. What does a lawman do when he realizes that some laws were never meant to reach into certain dark corners of the world? As Torres backed toward his patrol car, he caught sight of something that would appear in his nightmares for years to come. A child's bicycle, partially buried behind the main trailer, its small wheels still spinning slowly in the mountain breeze. The bicycle belonged to Amy Chen, age 7, who had disappeared from a camping trip near Pine Mountain State Park 6 months earlier. Torres recognized it immediately, the purple frame with silver streamers that had been plastered across every missing person flag.
So a little girl had went missing from a campground. And the bike, they had buried it, but they didn't bury it all the way. They left the streamers, handlebar type thing, and yeah, they just didn't bury it all the way. He notices this bicycle, and the number of children is going to astound you guys. It's going to be astounding.
Fire in eastern Kentucky. This single piece of evidence transformed what might have been dismissed as mountain eccentricity into something far more sinister, connecting the McCready compound to a string of disappearances that stretched back nearly 2 decades. Torres photographed the bicycle with hands that shook despite his years of training. The streamers moved in the night breeze like fingers beckoning him deeper into the hollow secrets. State police records would later reveal a pattern that local law enforcement had somehow failed to notice. Children vanishing along a corridor that stretched from Harlan County north through Pike and Floyd counties, always from families who were camping, hiking, or traveling through the remote mountain areas. 23 children between the ages of 5 and 12 had gone missing in that region.
23 children. 23 children between the ages of 5 and 12.
Since 1964.
Since 64.
23 families left to wonder what had happened to their sons and daughters in the vast wilderness of Appalachian Kentucky. The official explanation was always the same. Children wandered off, got lost in the dense forest, fell into hidden mine shafts, or swift-running creeks. The mountains were dangerous, rangers explained to grieving parents. Accidents happened. Bodies were rarely recovered in terrain that rugged, and families were encouraged to find closure without physical remains. But Torres now understood that some of those children had never been lost at all, they had been found. Inside his patrol car, Torres radioed for backup and requested immediate contact with the state police.
Guys.
But as he spoke into the microphone, he became aware that shapes were moving in the darkness around his vehicle.
Too?
The McCready children had emerged from their hiding places and were circling his car with the coordinated precision of a pack. Their movements were silent, deliberate, and utterly inhuman in their synchronization. The oldest girl appeared at his passenger window, her face pressed against the glass. In the green glow of his dashboard lights, Torres could see that her canine teeth had been filed to points just like her grandfather's.
That's creepy.
She mouthed words he couldn't hear through the glass, but her meaning was clear. He wasn't leaving the hollow tonight. His radio erupted in static. No matter how he adjusted the frequency, he couldn't raise dispatch.
I would have
The children began rocking his patrol car, gently at first, then with increasing violence. Torres drew his service weapon.
So he's got these kids with their teeth filed, freaking rocking his vehicle. That is crazy.
But found himself unable to aim it at children, even children whose eyes reflected light like nocturnal predators and whose fingernails had been sharpened into claws. The innocence that was never innocent. From his police academy training, Torres remembered reading about the Sawney Bean clan in 16th century Scotland, a family of cannibals who had preyed on travelers for decades. The case had been presented as historical curiosity, an example of how isolation could corrupt human nature. But sitting in his patrol car surrounded by the McCready children, Torres realized that some horrors didn't stay buried in the history books. A report filed by Kentucky State Police Detective Frank Morrison on November 2nd, 1982, would later describe finding evidence of systematic predation at the McCready compound. Morrison's team discovered personal belongings from at least 15 missing children hidden throughout.
So they actually found evidence of 15 missing children hidden throughout these tunnels that they had dug around the whole property.
Throughout the property, along with crude drawings that appeared to show hunting techniques specifically adapted for capturing young humans. But on that October night, Torres had only his instincts and his growing certainty
That's
that he had stumbled
crazy.
into something that would challenge every assumption he'd ever made about the nature of evil. The children stopped rocking his car and began to sing a lullaby in that same thick dialect, their voices harmonizing in ways that human voices shouldn't be able to harmonize. The melody was hauntingly beautiful, and Torres found himself growing drowsy despite the adrenaline coursing through his system. He understood with crystalline
Yeah,
clarity
like the Pied
that this was
Piper.
how they had lured the camping children away from their families, with songs that promised safety and warmth, and something that looked like love from a distance. What kind of family teaches its children to hunt other children?
Yes.
And what kind of society allows such a family to perfect their techniques across multiple generations? As the singing grew louder, Torres saw lights approaching through the trees, not the searchlights of his backup, but the
This
flickering
is
glow of
scary.
torches carried by the adult members of the McCready clan, moving toward his position with the patient inevitability of a rising tide. The torches moved through the trees like fallen stars, each flame casting dancing shadows that transformed the familiar forest into a maze of lurking threats. Torres counted at least 12 figures approaching from different directions,
12.
their movements coordinated with the precision of hunters who had practiced this dance many times before. This wasn't random violence or desperate poverty. This was a family business that had been refined across generations, passed down like recipes or farming techniques. The radio in Torres's patrol car had gone completely dead, not even static breaking the electronic silence.
So he couldn't even contact backup to come in and help him. Now, prior he had called for backup, so I believe that they were on the way. So he's got these children with teeth filed down, rocking his patrol car back and forth, and then all of a sudden he sees up to 12 adults carrying torches and walking to his vehicle. Like they said, this whole family had for generations kept notes on how they were going to hunt human beings.
His backup wasn't coming, and even if it was, 40 minutes might as well have been 40 hours. Ezekiel McCready emerged from the largest trailer carrying what appeared to be a modified hunting rifle, its barrel shortened and its stock carved with symbols that seemed to writhe in the torchlight. Behind him walked a woman Torres hadn't seen before, tall, gaunt, with iron gray hair braided, with what looked like small bones. She moved with the confident stride of someone accustomed to being obeyed without question. "That's Granny McCready," the girl at his window whispered, her breath fogging the glass. "She's the one who teaches us the old ways, the hungry ways." Torres tried his engine.
Wow.
It turned over once, then died with a mechanical wheeze that sounded almost like laughter. The children began backing away from his car, their job apparently finished. Whatever they had done to disable his vehicle, they had done it quietly and efficiently while he'd been distracted by their singing. A Kentucky State Police forensics report dated December 15, 1982, would later detail the modifications found throughout the McCready compound. Hidden pits covered with branches and leaves, snare traps sized for small humans, and a network of underground tunnels that connected the various trailers and outbuildings. The family had turned their entire property into a hunting preserve, designed for one specific type of prey. But Torres didn't know about the tunnels yet. He didn't know about the preservation techniques.
That's crazy. That is crazy. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. I mean, could you imagine what blew my mind about this story is because it was 1982. That's the year I graduated from high school, and I'm like, these things were transpiring in 1982. It kind of blew my mind. It really did. I promise I'm not going to keep you guys on here much longer. It's okay that I didn't reach my goal here. I just appreciate all you guys who, trying to help me out here. I appreciate you guys.
Family had developed, or the careful record keeping that tracked each victim's age, weight, and nutritional value. All he knew was that he was trapped in a place where the normal rules of civilization had been suspended for so long that their absence had become a tradition. The torchbearers had formed a loose circle around his patrol
Could you
car,
imagine?
staying just beyond the reach of his headlights. They weren't advancing yet, but they weren't retreating either. They were waiting for something, a signal perhaps, or simply the right moment. Torres had investigated enough hunting accidents to recognize the behavior.
Now, see and I didn't get a chance to hear all of this. I'm going to go through a little bit. Throughout all the years, now this law enforcement officer ended up in the tunnels. I watch a channel where a guy's constantly searching the Appalachian for feral people. I'm always wondering what's going to happen when he finds them. Oh, I think I've watched that channel before. I absolutely think I've watched that before.
Moving patterns of light and shadow that made navigation through the tunnels a nightmare of wrong turns and dead ends. In one of the side chambers, Torres discovered something that nearly broke his sanity. Children's clothing, neatly folded and organized by size. Tiny shoes arranged in rows. Stuffed animals positioned as if they were still being played with, and scratched into the wooden walls, dozens of names with dates beside them, creating a ledger of victims that stretched back to 1959. The inventory of innocence. Some of the dates corresponded to missing children cases Torres recognized from his police training. Others were so old that the families who had lost those children were probably dead themselves. The McCready family had been hunting for over 2 decades, perfecting their techniques and expanding their territory with each successful kill. Near the bottom of one wall, scratched in a child's uncertain handwriting, Torres found a message that stopped him cold. My name is Tommy Walsh. Today is my birthday. I am 8 years old.
Wow.
If someone finds this, tell my mom and dad I love them, and I'm sorry I went with the singing lady.
I'm sorry I went with the singing lady. Isn't that crazy? That is so crazy. So they ended up, because this is like an hour long. I'm not gonna go through all of it. But these individuals, I'm trying to find they had freezer units that were hooked up from the electricity that they were stealing. Here, I'll let you guys hear it.
Hummed with electrical power, diverted illegally from county lines. The infrastructure of appetite, but it was the children who presented the most complex challenge for law enforcement. Ranging in age from 5 to 17, they had been so thoroughly conditioned by their environment that they couldn't understand why the raid was taking place.
Wow.
When agents attempted to separate them from the adult family members, several became violent, attacking officers with the coordinated ferocity of wild animals defending their pack. A psychological evaluation report filed by Dr. Maria Santos on December 3, 1982, described the children as functionally feral, displaying attachment behaviors typical of trauma bonding, but directed toward perpetrators rather than protective figures.
Wow. So these kids, they had basically, groomed them for so long that they actually trauma bonded. And obviously didn't know, people who were trying to protect them were the ones that the children attacked. That is so wild.
The youngest ones had never attended school, never interacted with outsiders, never learned that the world contained any other way of living. Granny McCready, when finally cornered in the main trailer, showed no remorse or even comprehension that she had done anything wrong. Her state.
And see, that's the thing. A lot of people need to realize that these children didn't know anything. They didn't know anything else. This is the, shows a great example of that children who are born into certain environments like this, they don't know any different. If you have a child that's born into a home where there's domestic violence and different things like that, they don't know any different. A lot of kids, if you go back and research some things on that, will say, you will hear them make statements like, I didn't realize what was happening in my home. I didn't realize what stepdaddy, daddy, mommy were doing was wrong until they got to a level in school and were allowed to go to a friend's home or something like that. These kids feel like that everybody lives this way. Everybody lives this way. The feral people thing, remember that little boy that disappeared long ago around Knoxville? He was the first one. They said a Bigfoot carried him off, but it could have been a big feral person. And what amazed me were all of these children went missing. And especially with this family and the hierarchy of the family being, known by the sheriff and different things like that. Like they said, the first report by a caseworker, they stuck it, under a bunch of other papers, and they were like, look, the family's not causing anybody any harm. That is just their way of living. And they disregarded it. And then all these years later, these individuals had been taking the children the whole time.
Statement to investigators, recorded on October 14th, 1982, revealed the twisted logic that had sustained the family's predation for decades. Ain't no different than hunting deer or rabbits. World's got too many people anyway. We just doing what nature intended, strong eating the weak. The evidence recovered from the compound filled 3 FBI warehouse facilities, personal belongings from victims dating back to the 1950s, detailed records of each kill, including weights, ages, and what the family termed meat quality assessments.
Oh, so they were, meat quality assessment. They were writing down ages, weights. That is nuts.
Photographs that documented the family's evolution from occasional opportunistic predation to systematic hunting operations. Perhaps most disturbing were the training materials, crude manuals that documented techniques for luring children away from their families, methods for quickly disabling adult victims, and preservation techniques that maximize the usable yield from each kill. The Macrettis had turned cannibalism into a science, complete with research notes and experimental data. What do you do with children who have been raised to see other children as livestock? And how do you rehabilitate minds that have never learned the most basic human taboos?
Yes, because that is so weird that they would train the children to look at other children in that way. That is fucking crazy.
The answers to those questions would challenge the criminal justice system for years to come, but the immediate priority was determining just how many other families might be operating similar hunting grounds throughout the remote corners of America. As dawn broke over Copperhead Hollow, revealing the full extent of the underground tunnel system and the carefully concealed killing grounds, Agent Valdez received a radio call that chilled her blood. Similar compounds had been identified in West Virginia, Tennessee, and North Carolina, all connected by family ties and shared methodologies that suggested a coordinated network spanning multiple generations. The phone calls started coming in before the sun had fully risen, over Harlan County reports from law enforcement agencies across 4 states, describing families who had suddenly abandoned their remote properties in the middle of the Braj night, leaving behind.
Wow, so I mean, look how far it went. Family had family in other areas that were basically living the same way that the McCready family was living. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, John. Well, you did something right, didn't you, John? I hope that they are all living very healthy, happy lives. Photographs now, where did they get cameras and who exactly was? You know, back in the day, they had cameras. The development of the film, of course, was a little different. You look back in the cowboy days, right? Back in the cowboy days, they had people that would go around and take pictures then also. So definitely a little bit different. I am not going to keep you guys on here very long. What is today? The 15th. Tomorrow is when they'll... Okay, I'm supposed to pay my StreamYard tomorrow. I don't know if I can get them to... I'll see. I'll see what's going on with it. But if you guys don't see me for a few days, that's why. That's why, okay? Not a big deal. We'll be all right over here, for sure. I'll make a couple phone calls, see what I can... We'll be okay. We will be okay, I'm sure. Life is like a box of chocolate. I might do that. I might do that. Okay, so we're good. I've got half of it, so we'll take care of the other half. I'll make a couple phone calls, and so having half of it is better than having none of it. But again, like I said, I hate asking anybody for anything. It makes me feel like a piece of shit. You know, it really does. I do this because I want to do it, and I really like hanging out with everybody. It's been such a godsend for me, you know, to get to know you guys and have everyone come in and you know, hang out and things like that. So, you know, this channel's been a blessing for me. It really has. And, you know, I appreciate you guys so much. I really do. Kirst, throw me an email and let me know when you want to do the Amy Bradley. And that'll be the first thing that I do. I am going to pop on tomorrow. We'll be all right. We will be okay. I'm just saying, we will be okay for sure. So, and I appreciate everybody who pitched in to help. I absolutely do appreciate that 1,000%. We will, I do enjoy the Appalachian stories, so maybe we might do that once a week. We'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I'm sure they took Polaroid, yeah. You know, back in the old day, remember when the flash bulb would go off and they would take pictures of Billy the Kid and all of them? I mean, that went back years and years ago when they were doing that. Not like today. You got phones, you got everything else that goes along with it. So, so these families communicated with each other. They were setting up trails in making scenic routes to get travelers to, it would attract the travelers to, to come onto those trails. There were drifters, runaway, tourists, and all along for a couple of decades, this family made sure that they got together and family huntings. From what law enforcement could tell, this had been going on since like the 1920s. And like I said, they had their own dialect. Craziness. And this is how that family lived. That's how they lived. But I think the thing that bothered me a lot about it, why children? Why the children? Now, of course, we've heard of, what's it called? The chromosome, or I can't think of it off the top of my head, where it is said that individuals will scare a child because it does something to the blood, and then individuals will, what is it called? Child. Let me see. They do it. An older person will use a younger person's blood as a health benefit, but it is called. Okay, wait a minute. Let me see. Adrenochrome. Adrenochrome. And it is they say it's a rumor that global elites torture children to harvest the chemical adrenochrome from their blood, which they inject in order to stay healthy. This even goes back to 1144 in Norwich. That is crazy. That is crazy. 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 TS type stuff. Thank you, Mrs. T. No, babe, you're fine. You're fine. Absolutely. It's okay. I know it's hard. It's hard for people. I know that. And believe me, I shouldn't even have mentioned it. I don't, I just don't talk about those kind of things. I really don't. But we'll be all right, I promise. I mean, for sure, I've got a laptop I can go pawn, if I need to. Not a big deal. Girl, I've spent many a years taking care of myself. But no, what's been donated so far is absolutely going to go towards it. So nobody needs to think I'm going to take it and do something else with it. That's not the purpose of even asking for the donations for it, for real. So everything that I made will go towards my StreamYard. Like I said, it just, this month was just kind of hard on me. So, but I appreciate you guys so much, for real. I really do. And thank you. Thank you, everybody. So, but believe me, I'm one person that knows that, a lot of people, especially in this day and age, I mean, we all struggle, but my channel, I'll figure it out, I promise, because, you guys didn't ask for me to have a YouTube channel. I did that on my own. It's my responsibility to take care of it for sure. So, and like I said, absolutely, the $20 that I received will go towards the StreamYard bill. For sure. So, I am going to get off here, though. I've been on here 2.5 hours. And I do appreciate you guys so much. I want you to know that. Poppy, thank you so much. I know that you work and, you come in here and stay in here the whole time. And, even when I end up doing a 4-hour live or something, you are always in here doing your thing. And I appreciate you so much for that. You just don't know how much I appreciate you. I appreciate Flies. I appreciate Debbie and, for being mods and coming and hanging out. Even when I'm talking about something that, is really doesn't interest them, they still come in and be supportive. And, but I do appreciate all you guys. I'm not going to drag this out any longer. I'm going to get off here and, I will catch you guys hopefully tomorrow. I know if they take it out tomorrow, then that's going to give me, tomorrow at least, I should be able to come on for a little bit and we'll get it taken care of. If there's a will, there's a way. I'm just saying. But no, I adore you guys. Thank you so much. I am going to get my ass off here and not bore you guys anymore. And I'm being nosy because I heard Mama T was mad at Sarah, the artsy ninja, and I couldn't understand that because I thought that they were okay. I don't know what happened. Maybe I'll talk about that next time, but not today. I'm getting my ass off here. Thank you guys again. I appreciate you. Peace out, everybody. Go have fun. Do you. And hang out and give everybody a wave from Remain Calm. And I will catch you guys later. Thank you, guys.